Hey guys, gals, and pals, Mr. Obvious here. And today, we need to talk about what many news outlets are calling the largest IT outage in history. We're talking about globally, computers crashing into the blue screen of death. Even Las Vegas's famous orb has been hit.
Who need they Orbussi pondered?
We've got all this footage coming out of like entire airports being grounded, flights being canceled, people unable to use their credit cards, payment processors being shut down, bank accounts locked out. And what caused this mayhem? Well, it looks like Microsoft and CrowdStrike basically just blew up the internet.
I have to throw myself my own birthday party.
You see, what happened was pretty simple. Overnight, while everybody was sleeping, sleepy, getting their little sleepy times, and of course, Mr. Obvious was awake. For the love of God, help me! The cybersecurity company that works for Microsoft called CrowdStrike released a sneaky little update. Now, CrowdStrike did not review this update to make sure that it actually worked. They then gave that update to Microsoft. Microsoft took the update, and they looked at it and they said, it's probably fine. And this update went out to hundreds of millions of computers worldwide. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Here on Twitter, we have a tweet from Ray, a notable computer scientist, who says, I don't think you guys fully grasp how big this is. Around 1 billion computers have been bricked worldwide, mostly corporate ones. Now, this isn't just an online service going down for a few hours. Every affected computer needs to be rebooted in fail mode and have the driver manually removed. Oh dear God.
What's wrong?
Seriously, auto-updating now?
49 minutes.
How long till impact?
11 minutes and 44 seconds.
Fuck Microsoft!
Okay.
Fuck!
Most corporate computers given to employees don't let users actually do this themselves. Now, guys, for those of you who are not that computer savvy, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not exactly a tech guy, but I know how to insert my USB into a port, if you know what I'm saying. He doesn't know what he's saying. But basically what this means is that this is a major problem, like catastrophic. I'm talking the apocalypse, the Y2K. We're essentially living it right now. Aren't you so glad to be living through another historical event? Yeah, so this isn't simply something that like Windows or Microsoft can actually patch. Essentially, this means that every single computer, about 1 billion computers worldwide, a physical person who has like the access keys to these corporate computers actually has to go in and fix it themselves, one by one. Now, you gotta remember that like a company or an airport, they don't just have one computer. Like you see all those TVs and stuff? Each of them could literally be running from a separate computer, depending on the case. And you can see here how there's a computer at every single desk. Every single desk needs to be fixed. Now, to understand how much of a nightmare scenario this actually is, consider hospitals. If any hospital computers were bricked, and I don't know that they were, people would literally die.
Hey, old man, give me everything.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me.
We're talking about ventilators. We're talking about life support. In general, this is just a disaster, period. But getting back to the tweet here, most corporate computers are given to employees. They don't let users do this themselves, even if they could. Just imagine every single double-digit IQ wagey trying to handle a moderately complex task when many of them don't even know what a file is anymore.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just wonder.
But how did this happen in the first place? Well, my friends, as I understand it, and I'm no tech expert, but as I understand it, this is what happened. CrowdStrike did not test their drivers. They gave it to Microsoft, who also didn't test the driver, and Microsoft, in its infinite wisdom, decided to push out the update overnight and against everyone's will with auto-update automatically. And this absolutely blew up the internet.
Your PC needs to restart to finish installing important updates. Every single day, I click later because there's no option to click never. I never want to install these bullshit, meaningless, superfluous... I hate them! I hate these stupid updates!
The CrowdStrike CEO apologizes to anyone impacted by the outage. Do you think they're going to apologize when people die? When life support machines go off on hospitals?
Let's say I actually made a small update to a line of code to optimize and update slightly, a little bit, and maybe I shouldn't have. They told me that you should never put an update into production without testing it, especially not on a Friday. And I said, well, it's not Friday, it was Thursday.
You know, it's times like this that I wonder about, like, serendipity. Like, was this planned? Because I'm looking here at who owns CrowdStrike, and what do you know? What do we have here? BlackRock owns 16 million shares. Vanguard Group owns 16 million shares. Morgan Stanley has 5 million. You know, I'm not one to talk about any crazy theories. But I gotta be honest, it's kind of weird how certain companies and global megacorporations seem to have their money in everything, and when things go wrong like this, you've gotta wonder. This gives us a really good chance to actually talk about two things. Number one, Windows and Microsoft. This is the kind of nightmare scenario that's going to become all too common in the future. Windows continues to push these horrible updates. Each version gets worse than the last. Like, I'm getting sick and tired of being forced to upgrade to Windows 11, Windows 12, Windows 13.
What updates? Some more fucking spyware so the NSA can keep looking at my dick pics and watching me jack off? Spying on me? Obama, you fucking... I'm a racist! You made me a racist!
It's actually terrifying. Now, my computer has been, fixed, so to speak, in order to kind of get rid of this telemetry. Now, Microsoft is sneaky about this. Every so often, they'll sneak an update in there that actually reverts and turns the telemetry back on. You know, I gotta go in, I gotta turn it off again. It's a whole thing. It's really annoying. But lately, many people, including myself, have felt like, is Windows even worth it anymore? Part of me wants to switch to Linux, and I feel like this is a great example of why. This would have never happened to a Linux computer, because on Linux, although it's a bit more technical, a bit more difficult to use, you have a lot more control over your machine. It really makes you think, like, if Microsoft can destroy your computer like this, like, imagine if the problem had been even worse. It's a nightmare. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm really starting to feel like Linux is the answer. Maybe it's difficult, maybe it's hard, but I'm probably not gonna be using Windows 12. I'll tell you that right now. However, there's another conversation I want to have. DEI hiring. Now, as many people are pointing out, this has been a big problem in the tech industry. You see, these billion-dollar companies are outsourcing many tech jobs, mostly programmers, to other countries. Okay, I'm being nice here. I'm not going to say like third world countries, you know, but many of these jobs are being outsourced to places like India, for example. Here on LinkedIn, you see this article which says 40%, according to the experts, folks, 40% of tech jobs are going to be outsourced by 2024, decoding the trend behind a $519 billion industry. So this is bad, folks. More and more US tech companies have been outsourcing their tech jobs to other places. And because of this, a lot of people are out of jobs. I myself kind of want to learn programming. You know, I've been looking at Python. I've been very interested in the language, but part of me wonders, is it even worth it? They're just giving these jobs away to foreign companies because companies are so greedy, so absolutely obsessed with making an extra 1% for their shareholders.
I told you, when I'm finished, you can have what's left.
There won't be any left. There's never any left.
That they're willing to move these jobs overseas. Now, this is dangerous for a lot of reasons. Our technology, corporate secrets, all of this can be stolen by other countries, like China, for example, and corporate espionage, that's nothing new. It's been happening for years. For example, in this year of 2024, a Canadian lab that handles the world's deadliest viruses tightened security after investigations found that Chinese spies, basically students working at this lab, had mailed Ebola to Wuhan. I'm not even kidding. That's literally what happened. Dr. Sheng Yao Kui and Dr. Kending Sheng both mailed Ebola virus to the Wuhan over to China. Like, this literally happened. Now imagine if this vial of Ebola had broken, because at these labs, they're not just working with regular Ebola. Some of these labs are making like super Ebola. This could have been a major disaster. Like, people could have gotten Ebola. It could have been a horrible thing. One of the major problems about sending these jobs overseas and outsourcing is that, well, although it's not polite to say in tech circles, a lot of these coders that they're outsourcing and replacing American coders with, well, they're not very good. It's basically an open secret at this point that, like, a lot of the countries that companies are outsourcing to just don't have very good coders. Now, some of it is the quality of education. Some of it is the fact that people lie about their qualifications to get jobs, lie about degrees, lie about skills, and many people in the tech industry have said this, even some people I know, that they were replaced by, let's say, someone from another country on an HB1 visa, and later they found out that the company actually went bankrupt because the new coders caused so many problems with the quality of the software code that the company had to spend millions of dollars getting them fixed, paying people that were fired, for example, people like that, to actually come back and try to fix them. In some cases, these companies actually went under.
Police, get what you fucking deserve!
Now, I don't know who they're hiring to do the code of companies like CrowdStrike, but I can tell you something. Nobody bothered to check this driver. It's not even a necessary driver, or so I've been told. It was just like a small little update involving the BOSD. And it caused this loop, which caused the blue screen of death and basically screwed and bricked a billion computers or so, hundreds of millions, whatever. I've been saying for years that DEI hiring, these things about how companies want to be woke and hire only women and only minorities, and if you're a man, sorry, you don't get the job. I actually made a very good video about this around a year ago. I actually suggest that you watch this video. I'm going to link it in the description, but here it is. A man sent 100 job applications as a man and as a woman. This is what he found. In this video, a man who is getting frustrated with trying to find a job basically sent out his own resume with a male name and a female name. The female resume got 900%, nearly 10 times more responses, just because the name was female. Yeah. Oh boy. Microsoft is completely anti-consumer. They're pushing out these updates. They're not even testing them. They're firing people. And then these companies like CrowdStrike are have terrible coders. It's all DEI hiring, and it's destroying the world. This corporate greed has got to stop. But that, my friends, is merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, enable notifications, and most importantly, please join us on Patreon or Subscribestar. This channel right now is not monetized, completely reliant on viewers like you. Joining will give you access to a private Discord server called Fight Club. Rule number 1, don't talk about Fight Club. It's really not that much to join. If you can, like $3 would be really nice. You can join for as low as $1. You know, it's no real big deal. It's a great place. Wonderful people there. We have a lot of fun. Now, I gotta update some stuff as well on my end, but it's ready to go. So if you want to join, be sure to go. Be sure to join. It's in the description. Check that link. I'm also gonna leave the link to my second channel, Obvious Reviews. Brand new channel, doesn't have content yet, but we're gonna do like movie reviews, video games, anime, TV shows, gameplay. I have a really cool idea for a series. Please subscribe to the second channel and follow me on Twitter. All those links are going to be in the description. Anyways, thanks for watching, folks. Not my usual content. Hopefully you liked it. If I don't get any views, I'll know not to make the content ever again. You know, it's fine. But anyways, thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you all next time.